Well, good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Tuesday, July 11th, 2023. And our top story today, what you eat for breakfast and whether you eat for breakfast can determine how successful your day will be. And joining me now to discuss this and a lot more, Rahaf Al Bochi is the owner of Olive Tree Nutrition. She's also a national spokesman for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Rahaf, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And I know we're going to talk about the importance of breakfast and what goes into a good breakfast. And I got to say, I just filled up on a little oatmeal and some egg whites. So I'm feeling pretty good and strong this morning. How important is breakfast to maintaining a healthy lifestyle and being healthy throughout the day?
Well, Jeff, if you think of the word breakfast, it literally means to break your fast. So it's that first meal that you have after an overnight fast. So you can think of just like a car doesn't run without gas, your body requires that fuel from food in order to run efficiently. So that's as important as breakfast is.
Yeah, you got to run that car on the right type of fuel. When you think about breakfast foods, and I know, you hear about all different types of diets, and, I think the rule of thumb is you don't prescribe to a diet, you prescribe to a lifestyle. But when you think about breakfast foods, what are some good foods that we should be thinking of including in our breakfast?
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to jump in before to talk a little bit more about the benefits of breakfast, just to give our viewers a little bit more reason as to why you should incorporate breakfast. So research has shown that people that incorporate breakfast daily are more likely to have that mental clarity, less fatigue, more energy, just being able to focus more on their life and have a more productive life. Research has also shown that breakfast eaters are less likely to have or lower risk for chronic diseases like heart disease, LDL cholesterol, diabetes. So there are numerous benefits for incorporating breakfast. And it's also an opportunity to help you meet your nutrient needs. So we require a plethora of different vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fiber. So this is a great opportunity to help you meet those nutrient needs through breakfast. So lots of different reasons why you should, if you don't currently eat breakfast, you should definitely hop on that bandwagon and start to incorporate breakfast.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about cognitive clarity, because as we age and as people get older, there could be dementia, Alzheimer's. These are all things that down the line you could get. But breakfast, having the right balance of foods, can actually lead to cognitive clarity. You're actually more productive. You actually will have a better day if you're eating the right foods, if you're eating a breakfast, you have the right insulin levels, all that kind of good stuff. It really gets rid of that fog that you might have, mental fog that you might have.
Exactly. And it really comes down to blood sugars. So you can think of, remember like the last time maybe where you didn't have breakfast or you skipped a meal, you probably felt really sluggish, low energy, just even, hangry, just really irritable. And the reason is because your blood sugars are low. And once that happens, the first thing that you tend to do is go, to that pantry or go to your nearest vending machine and you grab whatever you find, because your body requires, it's telling you, okay, I need energy. This is not good for me. So we tend to not make the healthiest choices. So, you grab a granola, like some sort of chocolate bar or a candy, and something that's just not really helpful. And what ends up happening is that your blood sugars then kind of increase, spike up from that instant sugar that you have. So once they go up, everything that goes up must go down. So you end up with this crash afterwards. And that even, makes you feel even more sluggish, more irritable, just not feeling well. And that's how it can affect your productivity. You're just feeling like maybe you want to sleep or just not get out to work. So the key thing is to make sure that you're having a breakfast that is will allow you to have balanced blood sugars. So what you make your breakfast, your breakfast is composed of, is going to be really key for that balanced blood sugars, which leads to more energy, better moods, less fatigue, and less grazing throughout the day too. Because if you don't eat breakfast, then you're more likely to graze and snack throughout the day to help kind of fill in that gap that you didn't have from the morning. So eating breakfast is really important, especially, you really want to aim to have a meal within 30 to 60 minutes of waking up to ensure those balanced blood sugars throughout the day and better mood and productivity.
Yeah. So what's the aversion to eating breakfast? I mean, is it that people, maybe they're too busy? Because I want to, on the other side of the commercial break, I want to talk about the types of foods. How do you buy the right foods? How do you prepare? But what is the aversion? I mean, it seems like I can't wait to eat breakfast in the morning. It's my favorite meal, and I love having a smoothie, or I love having egg whites. So why do people not eat breakfast? Are they just not feeling well in order to consume breakfast?
Yeah, so a lot of my clients that come to me, they just haven't had breakfast for a very long time, so they just don't feel hungry. A lot of people tell me, I wake up, I'm just not hungry to eat anything. And that's because they haven't eaten for a very long time, they don't have any more hunger cues. So I really just tell them, try to incorporate whether it's something small, just start having maybe half a banana with some nut butter, and we can dive into some more ideas to simplify breakfast. The other thing too is busy. People are busy, we just live in a time where there's so much to do in the morning, getting ready, maybe you have kids, getting them out the door. So making sure, like, preparing breakfast in advance, thinking of, types of foods that you can have, can really set you up for success to ensure that you're going to have breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, that's a great segue. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what foods make the most sense for breakfast, how you prepare, and a lot more. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Tax audits, tax liens, Wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
Rahaf, thanks so much for staying with us. Really appreciate you hanging around for segment number 2 this morning.
Glad to be here.
And I'll just add that if I could eat one meal, all my meals every day, it would be breakfast. It is by far my favorite meal. I love the types of foods that are offered, eggs and all the, oatmeal, etc. I want to ask you, starting off this segment, how do I get started? If I haven't had breakfast, haven't typically had breakfast in the past, I know you talked about maybe starting off with some nut butter, maybe a banana, but what do I need to do? How much planning in advance do I need to make?
Well, Jeff, I want you to remember the acronym PFF. So protein, fat, and fiber. Those are the kind of the 3 best friends to help you build a balanced breakfast bowl. These 3 types of macronutrients is what is going to ensure you to have the balanced blood sugars from eating breakfast. So some examples to get you started, you can think of eggs on whole wheat toast and an avocado. You've got your eggs from protein, that whole grain toast is going to give you that starch, and the avocado is going to be filled with healthy fats. Other examples can be cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, which is so high and rich in protein, with some, you can do a drizzle of honey or some berries and nuts on that. Really delicious. You can also do a protein smoothie. So I know a lot of people are busy, and smoothies can be a really great way to help you incorporate breakfast, but it has to be the right type of smoothie. So making sure that you are adding some protein into your smoothie, so it's not just fruit. So things like you can add Greek yogurt, works really well. You can add some protein powder, whether it's flavored or like something like a collagen protein powder. You can do hemp seeds. These are all great ways to incorporate protein into your smoothie. Other, examples can be even a peanut butter sandwich. Peanut butter is a great protein source and some healthy fats. And then if you do a whole grain toast, that can be a great on the go breakfast. So really try to see what works for you. What are some of your favorite foods? What do you have on hand in your pantry, and what can you get? And kind of do some planning, and it can go a long way.
Yeah, you bring up peanut butter. I love a good peanut. My mom used to make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the crust. And that, I got to tell you, peanut butter is one of my favorite snacks to go to. Rahaf, let's talk about shopping, because, getting to the store and then knowing where to shop in the store, because they have all these aisles. They also have the outside of the store, which tends to be the more fresh food and the perishable foods. How do you shop for breakfast for your family, but also for the other meals of the day?
Well, we can think of that going back to that acronym, the protein, fat, and fiber. So think about what kind of protein sources can you add into your breakfast. So things like you can shop for in the perimeter of the aisle, like Greek yogurt, even cow's milk or soy milk is a great source of protein. We can talk about nut butters are within the aisle, so not outside the aisle. So there's a lot of things that you can buy even within the aisle, a great source of protein there. Things like whole grain breads. So you want to, or within, you can do within the aisle, or fresh bread. So you want to make sure that you want to buy bread that has at least 3 grams of fiber per serving is ideal, and a lower sugar type of bread. So you really want to think about, break down, going back to that acronym, protein, fat, and fiber. How can you build your breakfast using that acronym and kind of put it together? Oats are found within the aisles, great source of healthy, like a great source of fiber. And we can do so many great things with oats. You can do your classic oatmeal and add protein powder within it. You can do drizzled with nut butter on it, or nuts. You can do overnight oats is a great trend. If you haven't, tried it, you can, and that's a really great way to kind of make it ahead. Some overnight oats, or even baked oatmeal is something that you can do at the beginning of the week and kind of eat it throughout the week. So lots of great ways to incorporate oats for whole grains as a breakfast option.
And what about what to have to drink? I mean, some people, presumably not children, Children don't drink coffee typically. You can have coffee, but is it water? Do you get freshly squeezed orange juice? Do you squeeze your own orange juice? Do you avoid some of the concentrate orange juice to avoid some of the higher levels of sugars? I mean, what do you drink at breakfast?
So most people tend to drink coffee. My only thing is that make sure that you're eating before you drink coffee, because coffee on its own is not breakfast. A lot of people, to me, they tell me, "Oh, I had breakfast," and when I ask them what they had, it's like, "Oh, a cup of coffee." So I want to make sure to let people know that coffee is not a breakfast option. You want to make sure that you're eating, like we talked about with that protein, fat, fiber, balanced meal, and then incorporate your coffee. You can do orange juice, but orange juice on its own can also spike your blood sugars. So you want to incorporate that with your meal, again, to make sure that you have that protein and fat to help stabilize those blood sugars. So you end up with more energy, better moods, less fatigue, less blood sugar crashes. So that's what we want to aim for.
Last question for you, Rahaf. The importance of getting your children off on the right track. And a lot of times, if you're not eating well as a parent, it could filter down to your children, who learn a lot of their behavior from you. How do you get your children started off on the right track? Because there are a lot of, I'm thinking about, the Rice Krispies of the world, some of the more sugary cereals. They're easy to go to, but again, if you're going to be good in school for the rest of the day, or good in a job, if you're an older child, you want to make sure you start your day off right.
For children, it's really important to get them involved. So, sit down with your children, see what they like. And, yes, there are so many sugary cereals out on the market, but, children are children, and they're going to want to eat some of those cereals. So the make sure is to incorporate some healthier foods in addition to maybe some higher sugar levels. So, reading food labels is going to be really important for the parent. Maybe choose a lower sugar cereal, so something less than 5 grams of sugar per serving, something less than 8 grams of sugar per serving. Is ideal. Making sure that you're incorporating some protein to that. So maybe adding some cheese sticks in the morning. I know a lot of children love that. Adding some nuts, maybe some peanut butter, Greek yogurt can really, really well. So working with your children to see what they like. Fresh fruit is really great because it can be a source of fiber. So instead of handing them down a glass of orange juice, maybe cut up some fresh oranges, some, fresh pineapples, cantaloupes. So it's kind of working with your children to see what they like and working from there. Berries, a lot of children love berries. So those are an excellent source of antioxidants and fiber.
Yeah, really, really good advice. And in fact, you're leaving me hungry. As soon as we get off the show, I may have to get some more at breakfast. Rahaf, we're going to leave it there. Great to see you. Thanks so much for stopping by the program. We look forward to having you back again very soon.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
That wraps up this episode of BRNAM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to? Drop us a line, and don't forget, for all the latest curated news and lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more, all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives, check out our latest content, visit our website, and of course, all of our streaming partners. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN AM. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes. Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the first lifestyle and wellness network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.